Hi guys, welcome to the live stream. This video, I'm not really sure if it counts as endorsement or paid endorsement, but I'm actually making this for an app. So it's going to be the Momo app, guys. So I just wanted to be all above board and let you guys know about that. So I'm going to paint a plate of Momos over here, and it is going to be portrait style like this. And then I'm going to paint one Momo by itself over here. And this one I think I'm going to do lengthwise like this to fit it more. So the first one I'm going to do is the portrait style. It's going to be the plate of Momos like this. I think the background color I'm going to use is going to be black. And then I'm just going to... You know what? I don't even think I'm going to sketch this out. I'm just going to go ahead and paint it because I don't want any whites on here. So I'm going to lay out my paint now. I'm going to use black. Okay, black just came out. I'm going to use a little white. Yeah, I think I'm going to do white, and I'm going to maybe do some lights around the stuff. And then I'm going to use a little yellow. I was told not to use garnish, so I won't use that. But I'm going to use a little yellow, and I'm going to use a little red and blue to incorporate the standard colors in Tibetan culture. Yeah, I know other cultures have momos too, but it was really difficult for me to find information on other colors in other cultures, so this is just what I'm going to go with for now. Okay, so that's that. So let's start, and we're just going to coat the back of everything in like this black, and we're just going to go like that. I think kind of like this brush where this white is showing through in the back. I think that's kind of cool. So I might not do like a pure black. I might just do like a, I might do like a weird, like a weird thing. And the background for the other one, my husband said shouldn't have like a, he said it shouldn't have a background. So so I'm just going to the other one. So that one's just going to be a white background. And I'm not even going to paint it white. It's just going to be the texture of the thing white. And the reason why I'm not painting the background is because this is for an app, and that's what my husband wants. So later in the background, we could try and see. And, oh, I'm not sure if you can see this, but what I'm doing now is I'm just putting this sort of brushy style. So I'm just going to fix this part here. I don't like how that came out. And going to make it a little darker. And yeah, so I think this looks pretty good. So now we put down our black. Black goes here. I'm going to now put a white plate on top. And I might have to use a lot of white for this, but I think that black is pretty dry. I'm not going to wait for it to dry too much. I'm just going to go straight in with the white. And I'm going to go in like this. And I'm going to go in like this. I'm going to go in like this. So you can see it's not perfect because there was some black there. So instead of waiting for it to dry, I'm just going to put in like a ton of, I'm going to put in a ton of more white and just really just like layer like that. Yeah. I'm gonna lay this on there. Oh, starting to mix with my white, but I really just want to get this down and put it in. Okay, so that's our plate. I used quite a bit of paint, and now we are going to go in and kind of just roughly sketch out our momos. So what I could do here, I could take this brush and I could very roughly sketch it out, which I think is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go in with, I think, a yellow, and then I'll put in shadows. So you can see here's our plate. It's very rough. Oh, shit. Is that a hair? Fuck. Excuse my language. Okay, there we go. So that's that. So now, you see here's a plate of momos. Sorry about the light. And then I'm going to just roughly put in this very, I'm just gonna, and what I'm doing here is I know that the paint is still wet. I know that I'm just making a plate right here like this. And my husband said he didn't want me using the garnish, which was the pink stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just, oh, I gotta wipe this paint off first of all. All right, so now I'm gonna put this Momo here. Put this Momo here. And so what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna add in another Momo over here. And then here, I don't want to have an empty space. So I'm just going to pretend like there's another Momo underneath. All right. Now what needs to be fixed? This, you see it's a little dark. I'm going to put like this. And that's just going to define our Momos a little more. So now we have the basic outline of our Momos, right? So what I'd like to do now is put in some more detail. I'm going to try and use a different brush. I'm going to use this brush. So now I'm just going to put in the lines of them. And this is just a really experimental thing that I'm just trying out. I actually think kind of like a mixed media thing could be cool with this, where I use like pen, but we're just going to try this, see how it goes. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I paint from photos a lot. So, yeah. So those are some like real basic momos on a plate, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this excess paint. And I think I'd like to go in with yellow as a highlight. So I'm going to mix my yellow with like a little white to give it like kind of a highlight. I just want to go in a really light yellow. Mixing my yellow with the white here. I'm just going to put in just where I see highlights. And I'm just trying to get a real rough, like, thing here. Yeah, this might actually be nicer in pastel. My husband was saying that he wanted me to do this in pastel. And you know what? I still might do that because this is turning out very interesting. I really don't know what it's going to be like, but so that's what it's like so far. Now I'm going to go in with, I think it really needs more yellow, but I kind of want to let it dry and then go over with a light overlay. But there's so much paint. This is going to take a really long time to dry. So while that's drying, why don't we go in with our next Momo? We'll let this dry over here, and we'll go in with our next Momo over here. So this one, I got to pick a Momo to paint, and I think I'm going to pick maybe that one. That's pretty good. So for this one, I'm going to do this outline in this yellow that I've already created. And I'm just going to draw it like that and draw it like this. So that's that so far. Now I'm going to go in with the highlights. And I'm just going to go like 1, 2. Chris, do you want to take a look at the one I did and see if there's anything you want me to do while the paint's still wet? Because I'm waiting for it to dry now. Do you want to take a look at it and see if there's anything you want me to do while the paint's still wet? I'm waiting for it to dry and I'll go over it more, but no, nothing? Okay. So I think this needs a lot more light yellow. And I'm just kind of filling in the areas now that I think are going to be light. Now I'm going to go in with like a blue, and I don't want it to touch my yellow. So I'm going to use a new brush, this brush, and I'm going to mix this blue with, I don't know if I should use a little black. You know what? I'm just going to go in with blue for now because I want it kind of to be a vibrant blue. I could always like mix it up and go in with like a deeper later. And remember guys, blue and yellow make green. So don't be surprised if we start seeing this mesh with our wet yellow and becoming like a kind of green. So now I'm just gonna go in here like this and really like draw out all those really nice folds of the Momo that really make it what it is. I mean, $1,200 sounds like a lot of money. Chris is watching Woo Assassin on Netflix, so that's the noise you hear in the background. All right, so now I've used this blue in the Momo, and we're going to go in and I want to use a little red So I think I am going to use a different brush because I really want that vibrant red. So that was a blue brush. Now I'm going to go in with this brush here. And I'll use this red. And I think we're just going to kind of continue doing our shadows. And I think we will have to use black and white to kind of, I think those are colors that they use in Tibet too. So you know what? Before I do the black and white, I'm probably gonna go over it with a a yellow first in the yellow areas, because the white now will bring out the highlights, and I'm probably gonna go over it with a black in like the dark areas. All right, so now we have to try. I don't want to like affect the colors at all. All right, now we're going to go back in with a light yellow. This light yellow. And really kind of bring out these other colors. I'm just filling in the spots where I see white. I really want to make those colors. Okay. And probably, I'll use the black in the shadows, but probably where I'll also use the black is around the Momo. I think that'll be good too. All right, so I put in a little more yellow. It's a very light yellow. It's not super dark, but all right. Now I'm going to use a black. I'm going to use this brush. I know it looks like it has white on it. That's probably because I used it for the white. All right, let's not use that brush. Let's use this brush for the black. And I'm just going to really gonna kind of gently go around and go like that. Okay, so now let's go in with our shadows on the Momo. I really want to kind of strike this up a little bit more and make it more representative of a dumpling. So I'm just going to try and go in the places where I see the darkest. All right. Now the white, like I said, I'm not really sure. This needs a little bit more darkness over here. I hope I don't regret doing that, but I'm just going to try and all right. Okay, so this is our Momo so far. Chris, what do you think? Okay. I'm gonna put in a little white too for the Tibetan color. So put this highlight is right, and another highlight is like over here. Another highlight is like over here, and another highlight is over. Okay. So is it good, Chris? What do you want me to do? I have to do it now while the paint's still usable.
Yeah.
It's good?
I mean, you're doing more layers of detail.
What layers of detail do you want? What do you want? Because I specifically use the primary colors because those are Tibetan colors. Yellow, red, and blue. If I do more detail, those red and blues won't be so pronounced.
Yeah, definitely needs a lot more detail.
A lot more detail? All right, so Chris wants me to use more detail. So that means that we're going to have to start mixing paint. So I'm going to mix the white with the blue and get this kind of light blue here. And I really should have taken a picture of this because now it's going to be ruined, but whatever. And normally I would make these colors more brown, but this is kind of a special situation where and then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the white. You know what I will do is I will create a brown because I think if he doesn't want like this conceptual kind of Momo, you're going to need a brown. So to create this brown, I'm going to mix this red with the blue, and I'm going to also put in yellow, and that will create a brown. So I'm going to use that brown. I'm just going to go in over here, and that'll give it more depth and more natural looking Momo. But it won't be such a conceptual looking Momo. All right, so we put in our brown. I'm going to go back in with the yellow to really kind of smudge it out. So I'm going back in with yellow. And you see how we naturally get this kind of medium looking color. And that's going to soften up our Momo. And we're just going to soften it up and really, you see that? And that'll naturally make these. So now this needs more softening. This one needs more like this. And it does need a little bit of that brown that we just used. Here it is. A little bit of this brown right over here. Needs that brown. Okay, what about now, Chris? I gotta put it back in the live stream, so can you think about it? What do you think? Do you want me to lighten up this side?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll lighten up that side. So what to lighten it up, I'm just gonna do a really thin line of white over here. It's not white, it's like a light yellow, but okay, what about now? What?
Oh, but the colors.
What colors?
Brown doesn't match an actual Momo. That confused me.
So you think there's too much brown? You think the brown should be lighter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, if the brown is
I mean,
lighter,
it looks pretty good, but I'm not sure if it'll be confused. I don't know, it's up to you.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Here's the actual Momo. The shadows are brown. I can make them lighter, but like, okay, I can make the brown lighter, but it's gonna look weird. It's gonna look different. Maybe it's this brown that's throwing you off. I can make that yellow too.
Yeah, maybe the shadow wouldn't make sense. Why would there be shadow there?
That's where the light is, so that's why there's shadow there. But I'm gonna put a white there. And now, what do you think? You want more? You want more yellow here?
I mean, I think you're the artist, so you just define when.
Yes, I am the artist, but you are complaining. So
no, I think.
Do you want me to make this more?
A little more jagged, yeah. Okay.
All right. How about this?
But why is there red?
You don't want the red now.
All right,
is that what you're saying?
Okay. Let's just. Okay. I think it's. Yeah, that's good. I think it looks pretty accurate. It's pretty neat looking.
I can take out the red if you want me to take out the red.
No, I think it looks cool.
Okay, so this is finished. All right, so that's the painted Momo. Now, this is still not dry, but we're just going to go for it, guys. So now that I know what Chris wants, he will not like this conceptual version with, so we're just going to make these all yellow.
So I think then the only thing would be you could do a separate painting of the calligraphy that says the text, right? And then we'll put them, scan them.
You want me to do the calligraphy of the text in a painting?
Yeah, I probably need the cell phone outline.
I thought you wanted it to be consistent. You wanted the text to match. I specifically made the text match. Isn't that what you wanted?
Well, I feel like the sticker should just be all just painted. That's fine.
Can you quickly message Jeff and see if he wants me to paint the words or not? Because I don't want to paint words and then have you just say, okay, we should have just gone with the text to be consistent.
All right, maybe tomorrow. It's already early.
All right, so This is the plate of Momo's. I'm going to go in with this brown and just quickly put in some shadows while my brown is still available. So, problem with this is they're so tiny, and this plate will really... The other problem with this is I have to create one of the Momos because it wasn't in the picture. So those are some of the challenges in doing this. So we got to create a little bit more brown. So let's do blue, red, and yellow, like I said. So I'm going to do blue, brown, and yellow. Blue. So I've created another brown. I think it's pretty similar. When you're recreating colors, it's important to use the same amounts that you used before. Otherwise, it'll come out slightly different. And this one, I think I will have to use black for this. Although I'm not sure how the black is going to come out. But so I'm going to use a little bit more brown. So when you're painting from a photo, it's important to look at where the shadows are so you can recreate it. Because if you don't look where the shadows are, your painting won't make sense. And it's a good tip for people who are learning art for the first time, because you want to look and see where it's dark and where it's light. And then when you get better, not that I'm saying I'm better, but when you get better, you can sort of use your theories and really make it pop. All right, so now you see there's a hair here, right? So we want to get that hair off. So what I'm going to do is take this brush and see if I can lift off that hair very carefully. Oh, and we kind of did it. Okay. But now the problem is we need a little white. And I don't have a white brush. So I'm just going to use this. Just going to use this. And see if we can. All right. Well, it's not super ideal. Okay, hold on. Let's try it. Looks a little better. Okay, that's a little better. All right. So, Chris, what do you think about this as a plate of Momos? Chris, what do you think about this? Too abstract?
Yeah, too abstract.
Okay, so too abstract means Chris would like me to put in more detail. So that's going to be very difficult since I don't have fine brushes. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to break out fine brushes specifically for this. And because I did buy fine brushes recently, this is going to be a paint piece. So now we have some brand new brushes, guys. And I'm going to use them today. It is a rare occasion. And what I'm going to do is go in with this very tiny brush, and I'm just going to do some detail work. And I think black is the best choice for this. Now, the reason why I want to go with black is because I think I'm going to need to put out some more black soon. But the reason why I want to go out with black for this is because the background is so dark that if you don't use black, it's really not going to, it's not going to pop the way you want it to. So that's one dumpling. And then and you see I'm right-handed, right? So I'm going from left to right. You typically want to go from left to right in this kind of situation because you don't want to like smear anything, you know? Which you do run into this possibility of smearing. So that's another Momo. I really hate to break out the black, but I think you know what? I think I'm going to have to break out some more black. Oh, it is San Francisco, Chris. Yeah, I just heard San Francisco. All right. All right, now I'm going to use this. It's not very forgiving. If you make an error, you are pretty. So I'm trying to be a little careful, but basically, if you make an error in black, you have to wait for it to dry and then go over in it with like white or a lighter color until you can make it disappear. And it might take a lot of white. So you can, guys, you can just see that I'm just putting in a lot. I'm just outlining it. I'm really putting in where I think the darks are and trying to define this. So what really differentiates a Momo from a regular dumpling is that they have these folds, you know? And I'm just going to twist this paintbrush into a point to get more of a... And keep in mind, if you try and do this when your paint is still wet, this black will not be such a pure, beautiful black. It will be mixing with the white, and you'll get like a gray. Okay. So Now we'll run this by the boss. What do you think?
Yeah.
Still too abstract?
Yeah, I think just.
Too abstract. You want it more. All right. So he said it's still too abstract. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with a yellow. We'll do a yellow and then we'll do a brown. Always, when possible, go with your highlights first. So I'm gonna take out another brush. We'll do yellow, and then I'll take out another brush and we'll do brown. So I really want to use thin brushes for this. So they're going to be new brushes, like I said. I hate using new brushes, but here we go. This is going to be the yellow, and this is going to be the brown. So let's go in with the yellow first. And if you notice, we're painting over the Momos. We're going in the same order. And this is going to be good for two reasons. Once again, we're painting left to right. But the second thing is, we're also, since we're doing it in the same order, theoretically, if we didn't use too much paint, these should be drier. Theoretically, right? And based on what Chris said, I don't think he is going to like this Momo. I don't think there's a way I can salvage it because he didn't like it a lot. But I really don't want to throw this away. So I'm just going to try and really dumpling them up. And it really needs more white. I just didn't want to use more white, but you might have to. So, oh, I was able to salvage some from my brush, so that's good news. Looks good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Although I still wish it were a little bit not top down. You have to do
I told you to take pictures of the momos when we went to go eat
I
them.
think I'll have to do it tomorrow.
I definitely told you to take pictures of the
Yeah, I
momos.
think it's a little strange that it's top down.
I
But it does look
really
great.
told you. Definitely needs a little more white over here. Okay, you still don't like it? Did you look at it? Look, you still don't like it? Look at it from farther away. Take a picture, then look at it. Take a picture of it with your phone, and then look at it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's not good? But it looks just like a plate of momos. Look at it.
Yeah, this is definitely the style. This is it.
But did you look at the picture on your phone? Don't look at the painting. Look at the picture of the phone. It looks just like a plate of momos. Do you want the white to be bigger around the plate?
I think it's good for now. Let's call it a day.
I think it's very. I think this white looks good. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more. All right, so I put that white there. Now that's gotta dry before I go in. Yeah, there's no way that's gonna dry in time. So, what about now? What about Chris? Can you take a picture now?
I think the issue is that it's just too small of a canvas for detail. I mean, this is definitely looks great.
That one looks great.
Yeah, but I think it's.
Wait, you didn't take a picture of it correctly. It's this way.
Yeah, I did.
You took a picture
how
of
the
it?
red's the bottom.
Let me see. No. Oh, yeah? All right. Okay.
So it looks.
But you could rotate it like this.
It still looks like top down.
Okay.
It needs to be like as if it's served to you and you're like looking.
This is how it's served to you.
Like,
Served to you
it looks
top
like
down.
You're looking sort of. I mean,
Okay, I'm a little impatient to do this, so I'm gonna go in with the black now. Right. So that's the black. And then I'm gonna do this one over here. And that's the other black. And I also want to do a little black over here. All right, so can you send this picture to Jeff and see what he says? This one here.
Sydney,
Did you? No, take another picture. I fixed it. Okay. So guys, those are my Momo paintings. I guess I'll sign this one since nobody cares. This one I won't sign in case we use it for the splash page, but this one I'll sign. And probably I'll sign it in black since that's what I have. And I'll just do a really small signature over here. Again, putting my brush to a point, and I'll just sign it. That's my signature, guys. Okay, that's it for the live stream. So here's our Momo painting of a Momo. Here is our Momo plate of Momos with an artistic black background. Wait, how do I do this? Like this? Yeah, that's like the plate of Momos. Okay, all right, that's it, guys. So have a good night, and thanks for watching. Okay, apparently I don't know how to end this stream. It ended? Oh wait, I have to do this thing. Did I end the stream? No. What is good? Wait, end my stream. Yes.